Good afternoon. Happy Thursday to everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Heading Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I am your host, Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
And together we do this each and every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, as we help you to navigate the murky waters and do our best to give you your best shot to head back to the window. So, Scott, how'd your Wednesday go? A lot of heading back to the window for you, sir?
Not quite. Did not go too well. Ended up losing on several plays. I did win with the Nuggets money line, which I took late once Harden was ruled questionable. I think you'd agree once a random injury appears about an hour before the game, there's like a 90% chance the person's not going to play.
Don't care for it.
So I ended up taking the Nuggets. That worked out. Besides that, not really great. I had the Citadel over. Beat a line move, who cares? That ended up losing. I almost ended up having a miracle overtime draw, which did not happen. San Diego State did not show up for the second half against Utah State. Besides that, not exactly a great day.
I had a substantial personal play on that. I didn't put it out there officially anywhere. So I guess that's one small saving grace in the San Diego State team. Boy, they just shit the bed. They didn't look great in the first half, but they were horrific in the
second half was brutal. Utah State made a bunch of threes.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's check in with everybody in the comments. Oh, by the way, I went we're going to talk about my play of the day here in just a minute, and I went 1-1 on the premium side. Speaking of teams that didn't show up in the second half, can I interest you in the Creighton Blue Jays? Against Butler. Holy shit. I don't know.
That whole conference is a psycho conference.
It really is.
Villanova's starting to look like the team that it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But we mentioned it on yesterday's show. Why the hell was Seton Hall laying 6?
Yep. Agreed. I don't understand that. And then on the other side of the premiums, we had the Heat, which has turned into a nice little winner in most occasions. Hero was.
What was the magic number I said for the Knicks, by the way? I said like 97, 98, give or take.
Yeah, you said they had to get the 98, right?
I think they finished with 98.
That's right. Yeah, it was
that was a hideous game, by the way.
Let's check in here in the comments section. Brad Crawford says, "Gentlemen, I wish teams would tell us when they're going to lay an egg and not try, so we can say I know shit from start to finish." San Diego State, yeah, absolutely, Brad. Horrible game. That's probably my biggest play of the week so far. Just not a great effort. David Good in the house. Zodwick said, Chris King's picks for you. The shed is back. Yeah,
the shed is back. That's right.
For the show. Tucson says hi. We say hi back to Tucson, David. Thanks very much, man. He's gonna David, the Italians here. Too many NBA teams tanking. He started a little early, but yeah, it's absolutely.
I'm a fan of it though, because you know who to bet against.
Yep. Good point. Citadel couldn't do anything in the first half. They were the opposite of the other ones.
They had Jones 18 points. The Citadel, 18 points in the first half, and they won the game. That's kind of wild. But
Steve T says no ooey pooey tonight. No, there isn't. There is Eastern Illinois, but they've become a team that can't stop anybody on defense. So
you're looking at team totals for them.
Play the under there at your own risk. So Scott, we've got a pretty cool deal, and we're going to talk about it here. And we're going to try to, look at that technology. All right. So we have a brand new partner nationwide and in New York. It is BetMGM. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. First time I'm doing the read off of this. So if it's a little choppy, it's a cold read. My apologies. And there it is. I can't read it. Very good. I'm going to blow it up. There we go. All right. So head on over to BetMGM's Sportsbook. Get a risk-free bet. Up to $1,000, new customers only. You guys know how that works. Where the hell did my slide? There it is. Select the state you're in, hit the register button, enter and verify your personal info when asked. Don't do it before that. That's just rude. The promo code, you guys know this part, video winners when it asks for it. And of course, read the offers, terms, and conditions before setting up account. Finish the process. Set up your new sportsbook account. Bad news, guys. You got to make a deposit. I'm sorry. It's got to be $10. You got to put at least $10 in there. Put a little skin in the game, little fingernail shaving, if you will. You don't need skin, just a little something. Place your first real money wager on any sports market of your choice. It's up to a GER. If your bet wins, your winnings and stake will be given to you as usual. Should your bet lose, you'll be given a free bet equal to the value of your stake. Maximum amount is $1,000. Free bet will be credited to your account within 24 hours of the event you've wagered on. Finishing up, this bet will expire 7 days after being issued to your account and cannot be withdrawn for real cash. Link to the offer is in the show box below. You must be 21, of course. Available in Arizona, New Jersey, New York, Indiana, Colorado, Tennessee, West Virginia, Iowa, Virginia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, the great loop of Washington, D.C., and Wyoming. Always wager responsibly, right? And, of course, we're still doing the Caesars deal in New York. They've bumped it, Scott. They bumped it up to $1,500. It was going to be, it was $3,000, then it was $1,000. Now it's $1,500.
Make it to $2K. You won't.
You got to throw in $50 there, and it is a video winners, and then CZR. I'm assuming that is Caesar. It's got the Caesar's website there as well. And all other states, they're still doing 1,001. So you don't have to be in New York to take advantage of it. You can take advantage of it in the other Caesar states. So there you go. Thanks to Jim for hanging out and putting that up there. We're still trying to doing some of this stuff on the fly. So apologies. And yeah, we got through that. Very good. Thanks, Jim. And thanks everybody else. Do that. I mean, it's a hell of a deal, Scott. And I know people like that better for the most part than the bonuses, because a lot of times there's rollovers and with the bonus. I mean, there's always rollovers, and it's just depending on whether they're friendly at 2 or 3x or 10x or something ridiculous. So a lot of people like the free bet, and it's a pretty cool deal. So MGM has good bonuses, boosters, and free bets every week. Even offer free meetings every day. JC Stone. If you open BetMGM, go with my Chiefs. Yes, David, absolutely. Eastern Illinois, what a fine team.
The issue that I run into with BetMGM is that I can't apply for the actual promotion because I have gone across the bridge too many times to place bets on the Jersey account. So that bonus is not for me, but I do know I did end up betting over $1,000 on some Coach of the Year props a couple of months ago, and they rewarded me with, I believe it was 6 $150 free bets. Nice. So they just were handing out free bets left and right.
MGM has great VIP hosts. That's cool. And I worked in the marketing department at the casino for a while. They kind of traded me back and forth, and I got to do a little stuff with the host. And that's a tough gig. It's because you've got to treat everybody like they are the biggest whale in the world. So, and most of them are penny slot players, to be honest with you, because that's who's spending the money these days, man. It's anyway. So let's get, man, you guys are great salespeople for MGM right there. Everybody just blowing up the comment section with how cool MGM is. So very good.
we were giving out their damn run team totals the entire season long. So I got nothing but good things to say about BetMGM.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to seeing how these baseball numbers run, because there were some sites last year that were just crushing it.
It was mostly BetMGM.
That's right. It was I was going to be diplomatic, but yeah, it was mostly MGM. And we talked about moving to states that had MGM. So congratulations, buddy. I think it's going to be a good summer for us if they keep doing what they do. So we comp slots. Nice. All right, guys. So let's kick it off here. We got some stuff to talk about, as we always do. So let's get her rolling here, as we are wont to do here. Of course, quick plug for us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. We were doing some technical stuff here, so I can get everything up. So there's time to grab that cheddar, of course. And I didn't do a new one for like and subscribe, or there's no penalty today. Scott, do you have a penalty for like and subscribe, or
like and subscribe, or you have to become a Kings fan for a week?
Brutal. I love it. All right. So yeah, do punch the like button, do punch the subscribe. Come on, guys, you're letting us down. We're getting like 90 views live and 40 likes. Hit the thumb. Hit the fucking thumb. Come on. Get off your lazy asses. Come on. We're working hard for you here 45 minutes a day. It's like being a stand-up, Scott. That's about what I was working when I was doing stand-up. About 45 minutes a day. You go in, you do your
I'm imagining stand-ups nowadays who are yelling at the audience to hit the like button.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so fucking true. All right, buddy. Let's get her rolling. Let's find out the good news, the bad news, the winners, the whiners, who took it in the shorts, and who wore the long pants. I don't know. I'm just making that up. But at any rate, let's find out who's dialing 911 and calling those cops. All right, very good. Could you tell I was stalling as I put this up there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right. All right, Scott. So starting off in the NHL, an unusual place for us to kick off, but we'll do it. Game that we talked about: the Bruins on the money line plus 160 against the red hot Colorado Avalanche at home, unbeatable. Well, the Bruins tried to do the impossible. They led by 2 goals going into the third. They led by a goal with less than a minute left. 1 fucking minute. Avalanche, never count them out, baby. They're like the Chiefs of hockey. They scored with 37 seconds left. Overtime, not the friend of underdogs, and it certainly wasn't there. The Bruins lost in overtime. We gave out a good piece of advice on that, Scott. We said we like the Avalanche. They haven't been covering by a lot. They haven't been covering the puck line. They haven't been winning in regulation. We said to just play them straight up, and we almost were silly, but we ended up having the right side. If you had the Bruins on the money line, however, you took a bad one. Call the cops.
And looking college basketball, if you had VMI plus a 9.5 against Furman, I don't know who would have that type of play, but if you did, it was a tie game with 4:52 left in the game. And then Furman went on an 18-3 run to end the game. So your tie game, less than 5 minutes to go. You're exactly where you want to be. Furman went nuts and VMI lost by 15. Who would have that type of play?
Brutal. That was our play of the day. You had to slip that one in there, didn't you, fucker? Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
They played. We were geniuses for 35 minutes, Scott. Tied 61-61 with 4:52 left. It ends up 79-64, 18-3. Just absolutely. Hey, there's a bed. Why don't you see if you can take a big shit on it? Okay, will do. Thank you very much. Thanks, Keydets. Appreciate it. Finally, not that I'm salty or anything, Scott. I'm fine. Over Macho Grande? I don't think
Never be over in Macho Grande.
Western Carolina on the money line, getting better than 2-1 plus 210, playing the Citadel. Somebody talked about the Citadel not showing up for the first half. They led by 13 points with less than 4 minutes left. Citadel, Scott, as I understand it, they can shoot some threes on occasion.
No, a little bit.
Close the game on a 20-5 run. Suck a bag of dicks, Western Carolina. You lose by 2. Tear up that money line ticket. Plus 210. Nice closing line value. Don't care. Call the cops.
You're up 2 with 5 seconds to go. You give up a layup. How do you foul the guy on the and one? You go up an and one when you're up 2 points with 5 seconds to go?
You know what, though? In fairness, what do you do, Scott? You don't want him to score. You got to play it tight. You can't just let him. It's not like standing back and letting them shoot from 3 when you're
you either contest it or you foul them and do whatever you can to make it hard enough for a foul that you don't give up the and one.
Knock it down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the good news, and I know there are some people out there, they had the nice, easy victories. No problem, no sweat, because they were sitting in the rocking chair.
So, first one in the NBA, if you had the Mavericks and the Trailblazers over 217.5, you had 127 points in the first half, and the game landed 244.
Jesus. Mavericks put an absolute beat down on them. My God. That Trailblazers defense, Scott, I don't know if you knew this, but they're not good.
Not good.
Hey, if you had Marquette plus the 6 points, yeah, good shape against Seton Hall. They led by 17 points at halftime. They fell up a little bit in the second half, but not nearly enough. They end up winning by 10. If you had the Golden Eagles now?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. Even if you had the Warriors there, you were sitting in the rocking chair.
And looking at the last one, if you had Tulane minus 3.5 against Tulsa, you led by 21 at halftime and you led by 21 at halftime and you won by 34.
Tulsa, Scott, what happened, buddy?
They would have won if they had multiple hurricanes, but they're the Golden Hurricane. So it's pretty tough to win 1 on 5.
It's really impressive when your name of your team is stupid on multiple levels.
I really don't understand, A, why it's only 1 hurricane.
Right.
B, how do you put gold in a hurricane?
Oh,
how did that happen?
Then it's on 3 levels because you know who never sees hurricanes? Tulsa, Scott. Don't see a lot of hurricanes in Tulsa.
You see more twisters.
Yeah, you do see a lot more twisters, buddy. All right. Somebody wants to know if we like the U.S. soccer game where they play in El Salvador. 13 wins in a row over El Salvador. Got to.
You know what the actual number is on El Salvador to not score a goal in this game?
Minus 210.
Yeah, minus 270.
Ah, damn. Even worse than we
Under
thought.
1.5 goals for El Salvador, minus 3,000. Somebody asked about the game yesterday. I like the U.S. winning. You got Pulisic back in the lineup. I say U.S. winning 1-0 or 2-0.
Ryan
Clean
Page bringing up
sheet, nice win. You?
Ryan Page bringing up a good pointer. Said, can't believe I lost money on VMI. Maybe we all need a meeting for being bet.
I had the Citadel over, man. I mean, like, you're looking at these non-army, non-navy, military schools. They're kicking our asses, man.
Hey, man, you got any more of those Big South plays?
Yeah.
High Point a winner. See, there you go. That's under the radar. That's
Yeah, the farm's been consistent for the last couple months.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of doing it, Scott. I've done the last 19. We're 11-8 over the last 19.
Okay, I know that.
I'm going
about
backwards.
The 15 prior, we were like 14-1. So.
Right. I'm about to get to the stretch. I'm about to bump that number up considerably. So
okay.
What else going on? John Cena in the house today. Yeah, if you had the Hornets team total, you had it at tip off. No shit. The Stanford Cardinal. That's another one. Bronco Devil. Absolutely. What? I don't understand it. And of course, the Stanford Cardinal, Scott. What's their mascot?
It's a tree.
It's a tree. So just fucking put a bullet in my head. I have no idea. None.
I can't believe Presbyterian didn't actually have like a blue hose with like some googly eyes on it or something. Like that can't be your mascot.
Swinging
a hose around. Like that's a hell of a time.
Or on the other side, you could just have the garden implement painted blue, and you could be the blue hose. Or I'm thinking outside the box here. 4 or 5 chicks really dressed up slutty.
It's spelled a little bit differently, but that would work too. But
Bronco Devil brings up the Stanford Cardinal. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Brian wants to know, Brian Prieto. Hey, speaking of going to meetings, Scott, do you think Incarnate Word can get the revenge plus 6.5 against Northwestern State tonight?
Northwestern State laying that many points is not ideal, but Incarnate Word is atrocious on the road. I'd rather just go to a meeting. You?
Oh, they have free coffee and donuts at the meeting. So
occasionally bagels, but usually not.
Yeah, well, probably up towards your end. It's going to be freezing for the U.S. game. Where is that game, by the way?
Where's which game?
The soccer game.
It's a good question. Truth is, I actually don't recall. Is it in Kansas City?
No, I don't think so.
I thought you were asking maybe to set me up.
No,
I actually do not know where.
I wonder where. Because it's I think anywhere east of the Mississippi is going to be colder than shit, right? Is it colder?
Yeah, it's in the U.S., so that counts for something. See, I don't know if the cold weather matters. I remember a couple of years ago they had a matchup against Mexico. I think it was Mexico in Colorado.
Yeah, in the snow.
And it was covered in snow.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I don't know if weather even matters.
It doesn't. Brad said this should be named the Tulsa Twisters, Hurricanes. Rubbish. Yes, absolutely, Brad.
Tulsa Twisters just has a good ring to it.
I like it. That's beautiful. We could name it stuff that you'll never see.
I'm a sucker for alliteration when it comes to mascot names.
Had San Diego State 130 at last second bucket. Under. Oh yeah. That was. Oh god. Yeah. That whole game. Farm is a must play for me daily. Oh god. No pressure, Scott. No pressure, buddy.
In Ohio, by the way. The game's going to be in Columbus.
Oh yeah, that's going to be chilly. Oh, although if you're scheduling a soccer match in Ohio in January, what the fuck do you expect? Hey, it's cold. Really?
I'm assuming they're going to play. Yeah, you hear Columbus, you assume it's going to be in the Columbus Crew, and that home venue it is. So it should be fine.
There you go. Why? It's not heated. It's outside.
It looks like there's a roof.
There's no fucking roof. There's right by the fairgrounds. I've seen the stadium. Never been there.
Okay, never mind. From the outside, it looks like there's a roof, but there's no roof.
Brad Crawford wants to know what a buckeye is. Brad, this is one of those things that I actually have knowledge of. It's a little tiny. Looks like a chestnut kind of. And you fucking my mom.
Yeah, so your mascot's a talking nut.
Yes, it's a nut.
Yeah, the Ohio State Cashews. That's a hell of a name. Naming it after a nut. What do you got of your mind? Okay.
James Mount says like slutty chicks. Yes. Yes, there's a lot to be said for the ones you don't take home to mom. Scottsdale Community College is the artichokes. Beautiful. I know there used to be the slugs.
Okay.
I'll go to a meeting instead of via Myers Citadel from now on. Oh, incarnate word. Let's go. One thing you never get from a blue hoe is blue balls. We have gone off the rails here, buddy. Hey, Scott. Oh, wait a minute. Also, super delicious peanut butter and chocolate dessert. Buckeyes. Really? I didn't know they were edible. I honestly didn't.
Well, Michigan ate them alive in the football. Does that count?
Buckeyes roasting on an open fire. Yeah, okay. I could get behind that. Scott, been a little change in the NFL. Want to recap on what has been a busy morning, early afternoon up to this point?
Well, luckily we do have an insider for one of these teams. Shout out to Bronco Devil. I want your thoughts on some of the coaching news that's happened today because, of course, the Colts defensive coordinator is now headed to Chicago, and you have
Caldwell,
the Green
right?
Bay offensive coordinator heading to Denver. And I believe our guest that we had on the air about a week and a half ago, I believe had the correct call of Green Bay's offensive coordinator going to Denver. Is that right?
Nathaniel Hackett. Yep. We talked about that for sure.
We had an insider giving you plus 400 information. What more do you want?
There it is. There, just take it's free money, guys. There you go. I heard some news today.
So what did you think of the hires? The Green Bay one, I'm not surprised with because if you're going to try to give off the illusion of attracting Aaron Rodgers, you got to try to entice him somehow. So I'm not surprised that move happened. Is it a good hire? I don't mind Denver trying an offensive approach. I'm okay with that. You tried the defensive coach with Fangio. It was a disaster. So I'm fine with you trying to get the offense going. As for the Bears hire, I don't get it. I don't understand what the Bears are doing because you have had numerous offensive coaches that you've tried. You failed miserably. Now you're trying to go defense, which you've tried also. That has not worked out either. But the Colts defensive coordinator, do you know anything about the guy? Like, I wasn't even aware he was even in the running for jobs.
Is it Caldwell still?
Who?
Who's the Colts defensive coordinator?
No, they hired Caldwell. Hasn't had a job in years.
I'm old, dude.
No, it's they hired Eberflus.
That's what Roland says. Did they hire Jim Caldwell? Oh, that's right. It's Matt Eberflus.
They hired Eberflus. Now, I didn't even know Eberflus was in the running for jobs. So I didn't really know much about him. The Colts defense looked really great against Jacksonville in the final game of the season. Like, I don't know. Maybe he had a hell of an interview. Of course, I wasn't in the room. I don't know, how good the guy is potentially winning people over. We saw that with Campbell. Nobody knew who the hell he was, and then he turned out to be a psycho in a fun way, and he got the job. But I feel like the Bears butchered it. You?
Yeah.
It seemed rushed. Like, you don't want to be the first team to hire a coach in the offseason, do you?
No, it does. It does seem like you kind of break the seal there. Personally, I would have. Although you can interview him now before the season's over, so that's helpful.
I guess they weren't interested in Bieniemy. Dable, I know, is available because Buffalo, of course, lost. It just seemed a bit rushed, didn't it? Because you might want to wait for all of the teams or most of the great teams to lose before you can poach some coordinators as a head coach. It seemed a little bit rushed to me.
I wish somebody's poach fucking Steve Spagnuolo from the Chiefs.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's not.
But what do you think? I feel like the Bears, I wasn't exactly thrilled with the hire. If I was grading Denver's hire, I'd give it a B+. You're going for Rodgers. You got a young guy in there who might be able to wake up the offense. I'm okay with that hire. The Chicago one, I think, is a serious question mark.
Carrot says free money USA -1.5. I don't disagree with that, Scott. I know you probably don't either, right?
I see a clean sheet win. So if you want to bet US clean sheet win or you want to go something like that, I don't mind it. I don't think El Salvador is going to score.
JC Stone wants to know if we're doing a party broadcast this weekend on one of the NFL games. Yes, we are. We're going to do it on the NFC Championship game starting at probably 6:30-ish Eastern time. I'll have to look, but I assume it's going to be the same as last week in the Super Bowl. Probably have a few guests on. I think we're going to have Jim on from just parlays, and he'll be stopping by. So yeah, it'll be fun. Ben retired bad for the Broncos. I bet Wilson goes there.
But
Russ,
I gave my thoughts, by the way. Do you have anything you want to add on the coaches?
no, I think they're curious moves so far.
The Denver one I like a lot more than the Bears one.
I don't know what the Bears are doing. Maybe they're going to look to hit a home run as far as OC goes. We'll see. And put a different system in. I honestly don't know. I'll reserve judgment till I see what they're doing. Bears defense definitely needed help this year. I mean, it was certainly the strong part of that team, but the defense needed help as well. Why is public hating on Mahomes' wife spraying champagne after that win? What's the deal? Well, my theory is it's like you're going to hate the superstar, and if their wife is any kind of public persona or she's out there at all, they're going to get that hate as well. Because we talked about this the other day. You see Mahomes literally on 1 out of 3 commercials that are on during a sporting event.
That's not Mahomes. That's a typical sneakerhead.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think she gets a lot of that, and she's out there. She doesn't just blend into the background. And she'll go out there and she'll get in people's face and stuff. And no, I don't know, man. It's the snap response I would have would be jealousy. Scott, you're an objective observer. Why would you say all the hate for Brittany? Now Jackson, I get. If you follow him on TikTok, he's a jagoff. He's 20. He's 21. He's a kid. We were all jagoffs at 21. So
I didn't care about him until he danced basically at the Sean Taylor ceremony at FedEx Field, and I'm like, all right, like I actually just don't like this guy.
Okay, well, the ceremony they put together in 5 days to cover their fucking horrific emails.
Yeah, that was a clear PR distraction too, but Jackson could have at least some.
He's used to being inside the stanchions, buddy. Sorry.
You had the small restaurant with that issue that happened. Like, I'm not a Jackson Mahomes guy. I think he's a dick. But when it comes to the actual fiance, I think most of it is because of the fact that Mahomes, despite being the best quarterback in the league and potentially the most talented quarterback of all time, I don't think he really has any drama around him ever. Like, I don't think he's messed up one time in terms of PR.
No.
So the point is, if you want to get a hater on him because you want to hate the popular guy who seems to have everything he wants, and you can't, then you're going to criticize everything that the people around him do. So I think that people find it a way to kind of minimalize Patrick's character by criticizing all those around him.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
That's definitely true. And Brad says Mahomes' wife and brother leaves themselves open, obnoxious and annoying. I'd agree with half of that. I don't know that she's that obnoxious. I mean, she is. She gets excited when he wins. I mean, I'll give you that. Yes.
I'm okay with that too,
Spraying champagne from the luxury box down on the surfs.
It's a little bit much.
Maybe not a great look, but you know what? I get it. Giselle got some hate for clapping back at rude fans after the Super Bowl a few years back. Yep. I thought it was hilarious, and she burned that full. Yep.
So people don't like Brady because, he's got the supermodel wife, and it seems like he has the dream life and whatever. Giselle's actually just a good sports wife. She's not afraid to say stuff. I know Ayesha Curry claimed that the title was rigged with Steph Curry, but she also claps back every now and then. It's fine if you want to defend your man or defend your man's team, but I do think that that's why I'm okay with it. The issue that I have mostly is with Jackson, because I think that he's just an asshole.
Yeah, he is. He's 21. What are you going to do? God forbid I was 21 and my dad was like famous and rich, and then my brother became even more famous and rich. I can't even imagine. I was an asshole at 21. I can't even imagine. I can't even fucking imagine the obnoxious piece of shit I would have been at 21 if that were.
But am I mad at the fiance for celebrating that her future husband won arguably the greatest playoff game in the history of the sport? No, that was a hell of a game.
Ryan Page puts an excellent question out there. And then I want to talk to you real quick before we talk about games about the Steph Curry situation. But do you think Brady's done?
No, I think he comes back for another year. I think it's one more go around. Gronk, I think, is the more likely one to retire out of the two of them, because Gronk basically said straight up, if you asked me right now, I'd retire. So I'm sure Brady can convince him to go around one more time, because Gronk actually looked good at the end of the year. But I'm just imagining Gronk and how much pain he's gone through with all the leg issues, even some rib issues this year. He had to be persuaded out of retirement after a year off because he was already hurt. And then he got even more hurt this year. Gronk, I'm really just impressed he managed to make it through the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they ride off into the sunset together.
I think they will too. So I'm going to go one more year and call it a day.
I don't think there's going to be premature evacuation there.
I think the question that you have for Tampa, if they had Godwin and if the players didn't get injured during the course of the season, would they have been able to potentially make the Super Bowl? I think in Brady's mind, the answer is yes.
Godwin's
so I think they'll run it back one more time.
Godwin's his boy. Godwin and Gronk are the guys that Brady looks for.
So I think one more, and Evans, of course, but he was there. So for me,
I'm
assuming they'll run it back one more time.
They don't have the same kind of symbiotic relationship that Godwin and Brady have. Evans is fine.
You mean off the field?
No, I mean on the field. I don't know.
You mean on the field? Okay.
I think Brady trusts Godwin 100% more than he trusts Mike Evans at the end of the day.
Okay. Well, the point is, since he was out, I think Brady will be persuaded to give it one more ride.
Joan, I got to talk about the Gronk and the USAA commercial. Has there ever been an entire commercial ad campaign designed around trying to commit insurance fraud? I don't understand. What the fuck?
I also don't know how many people that see that commercial it's actually being advertised to, because I don't know about you, I can't apply for that insurance, so why do I see 45 commercials every football Sunday?
Well, because there's a ton of people that have served, and there's a ton of people that have family that have served, and
But wouldn't most people know about it already?
I don't know, man. I just report.
How many specific insurance companies do you have for veterans and veterans families? Probably not as many as you think. So most people probably know what USAA is if you're in the military community before the commercials.
I don't know. I've got some relatives that serve, so I have to ask them.
You can ask them. I'm sure they know about it.
Roland G said when Brown had his issue to hurt the team. I don't disagree with that. I think that's you can certainly make that argument that that's a distraction, and Brady's a pro and he'll keep it to a minimum, but it had to hurt the rest of that locker room. I would agree. Hey, okay, so what do you think of the rumor about Steph Curry and his wife?
About the open marriage?
Uh-huh. You think that's a reason?
True.
You think it's a reason for the slump?
No. Are you making the Rocky women weaken legs argument?
The what?
The Rocky one.
Oh, no. I'm making the argument that she hooked up with somebody and it caused a rift in the marriage.
Okay, so I thought you meant that he was just having sex all the time, that it was affecting his play. So that was that's how I took that question.
That she's
both could be true.
Yes, correct. But she's hooked up with one or more of his fellow NBA players, not teammates, but just somebody in the NBA that he didn't.
Truth is, I don't know, because Curry was playing so well to start the year. He set the record. He set the whatever. I wouldn't say that that's a main reason why, because nobody knows. That's all pure speculation. Truth is, I haven't really thought about it that much. I know I brought up Aisha before because she has, made her comments known on Twitter, etc. It's possible. I don't know. As long as Curry gets it together for the title run, I don't really care.
Fair enough. This is the View. I know. We do.
I came out of left field. I was caught off guard there, but all
right. Scott, not much happening in the NBA tonight. We got just a couple of games involving West Coast teams. Philadelphia laying 4 to the Lakers. I know you don't generally trust this Sixers team. How do you feel about them tonight?
I really don't know what to think about this game because
I
don't trust either team. LeBron's questionable, which is why the line has gone from 2.5 to 4. Is LeBron really going to sit out a TV game?
I wouldn't think so.
That doesn't seem on brand for LeBron.
I think upgraded the questionable has to be a good sign there.
I think it was downgraded to questionable because I didn't see injury news the entire day.
Oh, well, then, okay. Then if it's going the other way, then
I guess I blindly have to look at Philly now because LeBron might not play, but I don't know if I've really seen LeBron sit out many actual TV games in his career. He's sat out a decent amount with Miami and whatever, but for TNT games with only 2 games on the entire card,
Yep.
I just penciled LeBron in for playing. But I can't bet him if I don't know for a fact. Can you?
You've got a bunch of role players that are questionable out. You got Seth Curry's out, Tobias Harris. Oh, he's upgraded to probable. Danny Green's questionable. Or no, they're both probable. Never mind. So
If I don't know if LeBron's going to play, I'm
Yeah,
assuming he's going to just because of the TV angle. But if he's not
give me Philly.
with a knee issue, there's a 0% chance I'm betting the Lakers.
Yeah, I'll take the Phillies since I'll take the 76ers. You miss Nada. All right, my God, everybody's a fucking critic. You know, that's the danger of the show. You guys know we go down rabbit holes. So, all right, Golden State's the other one, Scott. The aforementioned Golden State playing Minnesota, laying a deceptively short number there in 6. Bud, you falling into that trap?
For me, I feel like this is a line where most people would just blindly take Minnesota based on recent form because Golden State has not played well for the last couple of weeks.
No,
but
Minnesota blasted them a couple weeks ago.
They did, but Curry didn't play, so I'm tossing that game in the garbage. But looking at the last matchup that Golden State played, they were not playing well. They lost to Indiana, who was missing 4 starters, which in my opinion is the worst loss of any team for the entire season. Because that was just an inexcusable loss.
Yeah.
They dropped 130 on a Dallas team that was putting the clamps down on everybody. So I am wondering if Golden State, that lost to Indiana, was the wake-up call they needed, telling them we got to get it together.
And Curry didn't even play particularly well in that game.
No, he hasn't played well in like 3 weeks.
But I mean, it wasn't like he found his stroke and put up 45, and that's what gave him 130. That was a team.
No, he had 39 in the game against Indiana. They lost, and besides that game, he's been pretty much awful for the last couple of weeks. But I'm going to go Golden State because I think Minnesota's a solid team, but the spread has gone up from around 5.5 to 6.5.
Yeah.
And I do think that after that good of a performance against Dallas, and this team is still really good at home, that Golden State might just be a little bit too much. Minnesota's not a great road team.
No, they haven't.
So I'm going to take the Warriors winning by 10.
Yeah, they haven't covered their last 5, and the only 2 they covered before that were Oklahoma City and Houston. So I got to play Golden State. That move feels pretty sharp to me.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
No Draymond or Iguodala. I agree, but yeah, I think the Warriors still do. Brad Crawford, how much easier was a handicap 25 or 30 years ago when players rarely missed games in the NBA?
I wasn't born yet, so this is your
Brad,
question.
I'll go one better than that. I'll say 5 years ago. Before the rest period really started. I think that started about 5, 6, 7 years ago when the guys started just sitting out for rest.
Well, San Antonio was doing it before it was popular, but the issue with San Antonio was a boring team, so nobody cared, and everyone was like, all right, they're going to do what they want to do. But San Antonio with Popovich, I think, was the first team I could remember. That's probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That just started openly benching Duncan, Parker, Ginobili, just randomly in the middle of the week.
Yeah, I think it really started taking care of Duncan and Ginobili as those guys got older. Yeah. Bronco Devil says I've been betting live totals. I do better than betting early. You can absolutely make that case because you're getting to see who looks good, who looks bad, what the defense is doing. My son and I toyed with a strategy last year where we were live betting college basketball, and we try to hit the peak and then go the other way. And we had a lot of success with it early. And just when we started thinking we had something, we got crushed. So I still don't know if I still think there's something there, but I've got to figure out some sort of algorithm to figure out when the peak is, because they tend to be the market tends to overreact live. So if you can catch that wave and catch the peak, you can get a good number.
The issue that I ran into when it came to live betting was when I would have a play that I really liked going in, for example, a Citadel play, which didn't work out yesterday, but you have 51 points at the half. And I know both teams are capable of putting up 85 plus in any given half. Do you have any issues ever doubling down on like a live line for a play? Because I have a hard time doing it on principle, but I feel like it just makes all the sense in the world. Because if you like the game at 153 and the live line's 140, then you're probably going to bet it anyway, and you're going to win the majority of the time. Is that fair?
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. Bronco says I try to extrapolate the points, dude. I am constantly doing math.
Mhm.
I can tell you every derivative of 3-4 with 17 minutes gone. Yeah,
That's
always.
one thing that you'll notice about really good gamblers or just really common gamblers or, people just bet a lot. People might be awful at math until you have to start calculating the pace.
Yeah.
Once you're asked how many points you need per minute
Yeah.
and how many whatever,
Yep.
a long-term gambler can give you every piece of information you need just based on experience. At least from what I've noticed.
Brad Crawford says that Jordan would never set out, play 2 rounds of golf, drink a case of beer, still go out and hit 40. Players today are soft. Dude, you don't even need to encourage me to go on an old man rant about the soft players today. It's almost like my theory is they've stretched the human body so close to its limits that you're just right on that edge of injury or peak performance all the time. And I don't think anybody's softer. I will rant and talk about that. In reality, I don't think so. Scott, somebody asking about this Marshall Middle Tennessee game, and you and I talked about this. We
disagreed a little bit, but I'm just looking at the line movement, and of course, I automatically go to where I think sharp money's coming from.
And I think you could absolutely make the case that is sharp money coming in on Marshall. It's taking that line from 1 to 2.5 on the surface. I don't see it. Middle Tennessee State, I'm sure most of you are aware, 12-3-1. Probably, I think they are the best team against the number in the country. If not, they're tied for it. Going up against Marshall, 3-14 against the spread. Marshall lost 9 straight, haven't covered in 9 straight, lost all their conference games.
It makes no sense. They've lost 9 straight, and money's pouring in on Marshall. So, yes, screw it. I'm going Marshall because it's one of those spots where, as you know, I tend to side with what I think is sharp money because long term, that's the side I want to be on.
Yep.
It seems like Middle Tennessee is turning into a bit of a trap game or a sucker play, so to speak. I'm going to back the line movement.
I'm going the other way, Scott. I'm gonna trust my eyes on this one. I had this game circled, and I can't go away from it. I don't like the line move. I'm going to be honest with you, but I am going to just ride or die with Middle Tennessee. Do these sites on these sites they give cash outs? Do you know if that amount is the best a person can do if they were live betting, or are they ripping people off? I'm not good at math. Cash outs are really hard to figure because you've got to figure probability and then you've got to figure win percentage.
I think it's safe to say it's a little bit of a ripoff.
Yes.
It's not insanely bad.
Correct.
But the main reason why cash outs are a decent option is because if you have $50 on a 7-pick parlay to win $150,000 and you're in the final pick and you cannot afford to take out $75,000 to hedge on your final play, then you don't have to worry about going through any bank account stuff and you can just hit the cash out option. It's easy. So the way that I would describe it, it's a little bit of a ripoff. But if you are in line for a serious all over Twitter parlay like that big, then they make sense to take about maybe 5% off the top solely for convenience. So you don't have to take money out of your 401k.
I think you're paying about 20% juice.
I said 5, it could be 10, but that's the idea. It's a convenience fee.
Yeah, you're paying more than that, but
yeah,
the times I've figured it out, it's around 18 to 20% is what you're.
But would you agree though that a large portion of it is a convenience fee, so that way you don't have to deposit more into the account just to hedge the other side?
No, it's a fucking profit for the house.
No, it is a profit for the house, but I'm saying if they wanted to give a counter argument, I do think that's one you could make.
Oh, sure. No, there's all kinds of reasons you should consider taking it. I'm just saying for the house, they're not really, they're going, well, we would need 20% juice on this. Okay, cool.
But for the general play, you're paying a bit of a price off the top, but once again, you can just take your money immediately instead of having to worry about depositing money and shifting around bank account information.
Right. Yeah. Mega says it's basically insurance, so you're paying a premium, of course. Yep, that's exactly right. You're paying
Roland, they're not taking money directly from you by cashing out, but what they are doing is giving you, let's just say, they're lowballing you a little bit on the negotiations.
Yeah, exactly right. It's like taking your car in, and they offer you like $1,000 less for the trade-in at the dealer, than you could by selling it outright. Do you want to fuck with selling it outright? Do you want to list it? Do you want to wait? All that stuff. So, Wisconsin, Scott, first game on the board, early game, 5 p.m. Laying 5.5 at Nebraska up there in the shadow of the penis on the prairie in Lincoln. This Nebraska team, they are so not good. You're counting on your alma mater with 7.5, buddy.
You said 7.5 or 5.5?
7.5.
I know Wall's probably going to be out for Wisconsin.
You seen it at 5.5 somewhere?
No, I thought you said 5.5. So maybe
no.
I just misheard you. But I do think that Nebraska's a team, even at home, I just can't get behind on principle. This team sucks. I don't know anything good about this team.
Yep.
I haven't been able to say anything good about this team in probably a decade. Nebraska basketball is not good.
Can I say something good about them?
Sure.
They've covered every Big Ten game at home.
Okay.
They haven't won one. They haven't won one yet.
That's a step.
At least recently. Let me look and see, because I know they started early, but they've covered the number against some good teams. They've covered the number against
Illinois. They covered
Ohio State,
Illinois,
and Indiana. So
for me, I was kind of going to set up the audience for an okie doke, but you stole my thunder there. I'm taking the points.
Yeah, me too.
Because Wisconsin's a team that is right now, I think they're overachieving. I think they're good. I didn't think they'd be top 10 in the country good. Davis is great. The rest of the team is hit or miss. Davison shoots a lot for a guy who probably shouldn't shoot as much as he does. Wall, I think, is very valuable. So I think him being out hurts. I can't get past the rebounding numbers because they lost to Michigan State last game. They got out-rebounded 39-20.
That's not ideal.
So if you're not generating many second chance points and you're on the road, we saw Wisconsin barely beat Maryland on the road. They didn't look great against, I forgot how much they beat Northwestern by, but didn't they struggle a little bit in that game?
Yeah. I don't think they covered, did they?
So I'm going to go with the home.
No, they did cover. They won by 6.
They covered in the end, but I'm saying it was a battle.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like Northwestern came roaring back to close it. They were the close game all the way.
In general rule of thumb, Big Ten teams at home have been very profitable as either favorites or dogs. I cashed with Michigan State on the road the other day solely because I thought Coburn was not going to play. So that was solely an injury-based play. And guess what? Illinois won the game anyway, missing their best 2 players. I'll take the Big Ten team at home.
Somebody wants to know if we get a hard time if you win too much. Yes. Yes, you do.
You do.
You're severely limited on what you can play. I've been limited in certain sports at certain books, and I've had to move on. That's why I highly
your FCS football kind of caught up to you.
Yeah.
Damn shame.
Damn shame. But their books, they've got programs, they've got people in loss mitigation to stop all that stuff. It's the books don't give you a fair shake, and it's one of the reasons. If you've been with me a while, you know this is a personal mission for me to help as many people as possible fucking make money. It's just because the books and casinos and bookies and you know what, and I know we have deals with some of them, and they seem to be doing it better than most the right way. But I guarantee you, if you beat any book in the world too much, you're gonna get limited. So you have to be careful. You have to spread your action around. And you might even have to put up a dummy bet. Scott, you ever put up dummy bets just to make it look good?
That I have done, not with actual sports books, but with the local guy around the corner.
Yep.
There was a while where I was generating free money. I'm not going to go into details, but let's just say there was a flaw on the actual site that allowed me to guarantee wins pretty much every time.
Right.
So to throw off the scent, I would throw in a couple of dummy parlays. If one hit, then you're making an extra couple thousand.
Right.
But worst case scenario, you're punting a decent amount. You're mostly just either flooding the actual bet feed history, or you're just trying to lose some money to make it obvious. I had punt weeks. That's how much money I was making doing this. So yeah, I've done it before.
Somebody wanted to know about Murray State tonight, and then we got to rock and roll. Somebody's been just fucking jabbering, Scott. I don't know what's wrong with you these days. I want to know about Murray State in the first half. I'm okay
The
with
only
that.
issue I have is they just played this team, but Murray State, if they want to, can name the score.
Yep. Yeah. It's
I think
all.
we'd agree they're the best team in the conference, right? Like it's not even close.
No, it's not even close. It's the Racers. So
I think they might actually win a tournament game. They're good.
yeah, that's a good team. All right, buddy. Let's get to it. Let's find out. It's Thursday. It's almost time for the weekend. So you guys, I know you got them sitting there. Go ahead and put them on. Put your overalls on. Grab that straw hat. Put it on top of your head. Put it at a little rakish angle. Perfect. There you go. If you got a corncob pipe, that's a bonus. But yeah, let's climb aboard our John Deere. Fire that bad boy up, Scott. It's time once again for America's favorite segment. It's Bet the Farm. Scott, I know we had a Bet the Farm play yesterday. How'd that end up going?
So we ended up having High Point winning the game against Radford, and Radford lost again on the road. Who would have thought?
Cue the banjos! Yeehaw! All right, very good, Scott. Well, what do we got cooked up for today? Is it going to be a big game or is it going to be a head to a meeting game?
It's going to be somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
It's not as, I'd say, unknown as High Point, but we're looking at a matchup in the Sun Belt between Georgia State and Louisiana, and we like the Rajon Cajuns -2 at home. Georgia State, awful on the road, 1-5 straight up, 0-6 ATS. Louisiana, good at home, 6-2 straight up, 4-2 ATS. Georgia State has been an absolute mess lately, especially in conference play. You're looking at the Panthers, and they are 1-10 against the spread in their last 11 games. And to go through some efficiency numbers, Louisiana ranks 137th in defensive efficiency, according to Ken Palm, while Georgia State ranks 204th. At the end of the day, it's kind of similar to the Radford play. We're going to fade a really bad road team against a team that's pretty good at home, laying a small number. So give us Louisiana.
Tell you though, Rajon Cajuns, they're going to come in tonight, I guarantee. I don't guarantee it. I just wanted to say that. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it. Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for joining us today on The View, on the Sports View. We've had some fun, and we're going to have some more fun this weekend. Don't forget to check out our live NFC championship broadcast there, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday night, as your boys will be doing it live in person. Sort of, I don't know, over the radio, whatever, over the computer, not in person, but you know the drill. Check us out, every day. Don't forget to listen to Chris King, Jim Williams, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time as they do Just Parlays. And check out, again, Scott and Scott, as we do our best every day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, to help you in your journey as we all attempt to head back to the window. You guys have a great day.